Welcome back to Bostin British Fittle, where Maggie and I aim to bring you as many varieties of different British foods as we possibly can. Today we're doing a dish which is very popular in Wales, so I've infused it with some Welsh ingredients. We're doing steak and oyster pie. This pie contains cubed pieces of Welsh black steak, oysters, red wine and onions, and is topped with a puff pastry lid. Popular in Wales, this pie dish, it actually originated from Victorian England when pies were made with beef, but beef being very expensive at the time, they tried to buff up these pies with more available and inexpensive products such as oysters, which were very plentiful around the London dock area. So that's how the pie became. Now, if the Aberdeen Angus is the most coveted beef in Scotland for its taste and quality, the English version would be the English Longhorn, and in Wales it's known as the Welsh Black. And in celebration of everything Wales and this one of their most popular dishes, I've made this beef steak and oyster pie with Welsh black steak meat. For this recipe you're going to need 700 kilograms or 1.5 pounds of cubed diced braised stewing steak, in this case Welsh black, 2 small tins of oysters, 1 medium onion, or in my case 5 small shallots, half a pint or 300 millilitres of warm water, 1/4 of a pint or 150 millilitres of red wine, 1 roll of puff pastry, 2 tablespoons of plain flour, 1 ounce of butter, 1 tablespoon of tomato puree, 1 tablespoon of oil, 1/2 teaspoon of mixed herbs, and 1 beef stock OXO cube or any other beef stock. Okay, the first thing you want to do is set your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 165 degrees centigrade or gas mark 3. Okay, that is set. Okay, now we want to get the oil, pour it into a frying pan, and we're going to heat that up. Okay, that's that done. Clicker's playing up. Okay, we're going to wait for that to heat up and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, oil is nice and hot. That's what we want. Coat the pan. Only a bit liberally, doesn't have to be all over. And now we add the butter. Pan nice and hot, that should melt nicely. That's it, all over. Now we take our meat, we add a little bit at a time. just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Okay, that'll do for the first bit. You always want to do the meat first with a dish like this, because then the juices of the meat after frying will still be in the frying pan for the other ingredients to soak up. Now at the moment you just want it to, you're just browning the meat. See, I'll show you. See, you've got a nice browned piece just there. So I just want to do all the sides. And what will happen is, once this meat is browned, obviously you go ahead, you add the next batch. But before you add the next batch, you take this meat and add it to a casserole dish just to keep warm, which I've got set up here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to brown all this meat, add it to the casserole dish, and then we'll move on to the next thing. While you're waiting for the meat to brown as you're going through it, you can go ahead and chop up your onion, get that cut into small pieces, then that will be ready for the next cook once all the meat is done. Okay, I've finished with my steak pieces and there they are, all nicely browned, some still red, with that nice rare taste. So now I want to turn the heat down on the oven. There we go. And into this you put your chopped onion. You want to get that until they're nice and soft and browned. While that's doing, you can prepare your beef stock. So, a cup of water. Just going to add my cube and stir this in. Oh, that's nice and mixed. Some few chunks in there, but that's fine. Let's check on the onions. They're browning nicely. Just in with the juices of the steak meat that was in here. Softening well, brilliant. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on this onion, and then when it's softened and browned, we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, they're definitely soft, they're browned enough for me. That's good. So to this, we add the flour. Let's get all of that out there. And fling it all over the place. And still on that low heat. I'm going to mix the flour in with the residual of the butter that was there. May have to add a touch more butter, which I will do, just to help scoop up that flour before it browns and burns. There we go. All the while, the flour will soak up the last of the meat juices nicely. Let's get that butter in there. Look at that. Nice buttery onions. The smell coming off this is amazing. Not only is the butter quite strong with the smell coming off, but again, those meats that I just cooked, the Welsh black, that's really come through. A little more butter, I think. Just have it to fry and cook in. Obviously, if you are low on the butter, you can add the oil instead. That's better, yeah. Really soaking it all in. Keep it stirring if you can, you don't want anything to burn off the bottom. That's it, keep this going for about a minute or 2 minutes. That looks good to me. Right, into this now, we're going to slowly add, I'm going to take it off the heat. We're going to add our stock. Our wine. Our puree. And our herbs. Okay, I'm going to give that a good stir together first before I put it back on the heat. Make sure everything's mixed in well. There we go, great. So, back onto the heat it goes. Turn the heat up. And back, and we want this to really bubble and boil. Just going to get right, we are going to leave that for a minute until it's really bubbling and boiling, and then once we've got to that, we'll get to the next stage. Okay, as you can see, I've got this bubbling away nicely. So what we do now is we get a tray of meat, turn the heat off, and we transfer all of that over onto our meat. Just get that off there. Go. It's all in, brilliant. Make sure it's coated every inch. Superb. And now we will put that in the oven for the next hour and a half. It'll take us to about 9:30 at night, so it'll be a little darker when we come back, but hopefully we'll still have enough light to be able to see what we do next. See you in an hour and a half. Okay, it's now 9:30. Take this out of the oven. Oh, that looks nice. Just gonna move that out. There we go. Mix that around. Nice braised steak cooked in there. Nice, that's it. Now we add the drained oysters. So, tin number 1. Tin number 2. Now, you're supposed to add this for another 30 minutes. I'm going to make it 20 minutes because this oven of mine seems to cook quite quickly, a lot of this. But we're mixing those oysters in nicely there. Really get them mixed around. That's it. Okay. Back into the oven for 20-25 minutes. And we'll come back and see how that does. Okay. It's been 20 minutes. Yeah, that's definitely done. Look at that. Right. Now, I'm going to transfer the contents into a pie dish. So we'll just need that. And then we're going to turn the oven up to 200 degrees centigrade, that's 425 degrees Fahrenheit, or gas mark 7. I'll make sure I get everything off here. That is pretty decent pie. We've got bits of it. That's it, it's coming off now. Bits of the extremis stuck to my pie dish. And they are some of the best bits of this. At least I'm hoping so. There we go. So, forgive me, it's a little hard. I'm going to move this to one end of the dish so I can pour it in. There we go. Let's move that around a bit. The extremis pieces off. That's it. Excellent. Let's flatten that out a bit. On all the bottom. Squeeze. That's it. Push down like that. Okay. Take my top. Right, with your puff pastry, you can cut to whatever shape you like for the top. I've gone for a simple one like this. Just going to edge them in. I just used this and went round the edge. I've got two little lips bits here because with my remaining puff pastry I've decided to use some of it up in a more decorative way. Obviously you do you with whatever decoration you would like. If you have any puff pastry left over, it's always good to have a bit of fun. Might cut out some oyster shell shapes if you like. I had a couple of bits given to me by a friend, so I've gone with them, and they have Please Go Die, which I think is very nice of them, and I Hope You Choke. I mean, I know they're thinking of me at this time when I'm doing these sorts of things. Their heart is in the right place. At least I hope it is. There we go. There we go. Before we finish, we need to go right down deep and create a bit of a funnel for the pie itself. Right, that is all ready to go. That goes into the oven, which has gone up to gas mark 7, as I mentioned before. And we put it in there for exactly half an hour. It is now 5 to 10. So 25 past 10, this will be coming out and we'll see what we've got. Hi guys, before we go any further, please don't forget to follow, like and subscribe my YouTube channel to get updates on all the other British foods I'm going to try. And if you can think of any other British foods that I might like to try, go on to my Blue Sky account, bostinbritfittle.bluesky.social. And don't forget to also check out my Instagram page for all the British foods that I'll have tried, and you can see all the images on there. All right, thanks very much and enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, let's have a look at this pie. And there we have it. A beautiful looking steak and oyster pie. Okay, let's give some of this steak and oyster a try. I've got a good amount of puff pastry here and some of the steak. Puff pastry takes up most of the taste, but the steak. Beautiful, deep, rich texture. Got more of the steak this time and hopefully some oyster. Oyster just landed on my tongue. The fishy taste blends really well with the deep red wine mixture of the steak. Very indulgent pie. I'm really going to enjoy this later. But what does the pupper think? What does the pupper think? Okay, so I've got here some of the meat, a bit of oyster, and some of the crust of the pie. Let's see what Maggie makes of it. Here she comes. What do we think to that? What's that? Pastry. She's trying to move out the way to get to the meat. Oh no. She's decided to go for that bit of pastry. The pastry is the first thing that's taken her fancy. Now she's got pieces of the meat. Oh, the oyster's been licked up. And the rest of it. And that's it, yes. All gone. I'm surprised the pastry went first, but still, that's her preference, isn't it? Good for you, Pupper.